And he's like, this is bullshit. I will take all incoming calls in this house because I am a man. And just then the phone rings again. And he like pauses and he's like, okay, Rose, you can answer the phone.
I did really like that there's one moment where his wife goes, you know, not every phone call is for you.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music of
Cool.
And we're live.
Yes. Oh boy. So I watched the first half of this movie like a week ago.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And then I watched the second half of this movie yesterday. So,
see, that's at least better than me watching this whole movie over a week ago. But to be fair, I did some dramaturgy today, and I did all my what were my fun facts and what were my gripes and giggles, and it comes back to me, especially my gripes. My gripes have returned. I remember my gripes.
oh good, I'm glad.
Oh, good. Oh, welcome back to the podcast, dear listeners, intrepid heroes, theater nerds alike. We are so excited to be diving into this one. Had you ever seen this movie, Grace? No, you hadn't.
No,
We talked about this.
No, I hadn't. I had seen a clip of this movie because a clip of it is featured in my favorite Christmas movie, which is The Family Stone.
I don't think I knew that. I've never seen The Family Stone.
It's delightful. It's a wild cast.
Well, speaking of wild casts and wilder plots,
Yep.
This episode we are tackling the 1944 musical romance film Meet Me in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. And they kept calling it St. Louis in the movie, and I got very confused. The final line is right here in St. Louis, and I was like, what?
What? Well, the song for rhyming purposes says Louis.
Has to be, yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's Meet Me in St. Louis. I always think of it how it is in the song.
The song is Meet Me in St. Louis.
Which
Which it absolutely is, but whatever they're just speaking, they keep calling it St. Louis, and I was like, but which one is it?
It's both. I think I don't know.
Okay.
How do you say? Get in the comments. Which of our listeners
Holler at me.
are from
Missouri?
Did you see the panic in my eyes? I was just like, where is? I was like, it almost was like Indiana.
No.
No, because you know what? I got it confused with State Fair for a minute there.
Yes, that's fair.
Because, hey, that's a
Surprise.
major plot device for
There's
both
another
of those.
fair.
We just can't escape. Listen, there wasn't a lot to do in 1903.
Yeah. So, for some reason, I thought this was in black and white. I was prepared for a black and white movie, and then it was all in color, and I was like, oh.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either. I don't know why I thought it was black and white.
I don't know why either, because we've seen Judy Garland in other films that were in color.
And in the red dress, I have seen her in the final red dress. I know that. I don't know why. I was like, this is definitely black and white.
Okay, we kick off this
Bam!
movie musical romance. We get a couple title cards throughout this film to show that time has passed. But we start with a lovely, highly decorated title card that says Summer 1903. And we zoom through this into a photograph, and then through the photograph we zoom into, oh surprise, the photograph's alive. And we are on a bucolic, tree-lined street. Dirt road.
Lovely. Dirt road.
Lined with lovely houses.
Yeah.
And we go up the drive and into one of these houses, into the kitchen, and we see two women making what I thought was ketchup.
I thought it was ketchup too, because they called it that. That would be why I thought that. But I think it's more of a tomato soup.
Yeah, soup. It is ultimately, it will be soup. But
it's not as viscous. Ketchup. It's not as viscous as ketchup. It is. It is definitely more watery towards soup.
one of the women is the housekeeper for this family, and the
Justice for Katie, the housekeeper.
Katie, the housekeeper, and the matriarch of this house, whose name is Anna. The last name is Smith. This is the Smiths family.
Yes.
Smith family's house. And they seem well-to-do.
They're fine. Yeah, they're sort of, upper middle class kind of thing. And one by one, we sort of slowly get introduced to each of their many children. I think, oh God, the youngest son, I think, comes in and is just like, oh, you should have been swimming with me in the pond, and starts to sing.
That's Tootie.
Is that Tootie?
That's Tootie.
Oh dear God, I thought they had a younger son that I just kept missing.
I was just like, there's no younger son. The only son is Lon.
Listen, there are so many children.
There wasn't a lot to do in 1903. They just had kids. They have 5 children. They have Tootie, who is the youngest. There's also Agnes, who is the second youngest.
Who's the other one in their troublemaking scheme.
Yes. And then we have the 2 middle sisters, Rose and Esther. And then we have the oldest son,
Lon
the only
Jr.
son, Lon, short for Alonzo, who's 18, about to go to college.
Yes.
That actor is definitely 27, but it's not important.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So that's the Smith
So never mind.
family brood.
I thought that there was a younger son, and I was wrong.
It might actually be No, you know what? I'm so sorry. It's not Tootie, it's Agnes that comes in this first scene, because we don't see Tootie until she's in the carriage with the Iceman.
Right. Yes.
So,
dear God, people.
Dear God.
I'm so sorry.
The point is,
so many people.
A young girl, probably 8 or 9,
10?
comes in a swimming costume because bathing suits weren't a thing yet. And she's been swimming, and she comes into the house, and her mom scolds her for dripping water on the floor. And she goes up the stairs, and she's singing the song "Meet Me in St. Louis" to herself. She tries to go into the bathroom, but surprise, Grandpa also lives with them, and Grandpa's in the bathroom. But they all seem like they all get along well. Everyone lives under the same roof in debatable harmony. Grandpa's definitely eccentric.
I love Grandpa. Grandpa's big vibe.
Grandpa's great. We go through with Grandpa as he goes out of the bathroom and into his room, and through his point of view, we go out the window, and we see pulling up in a horse-drawn carriage the second oldest daughter, Esther. Judy Garland.
Yes.
Gets out of the carriage, saying goodbye to the friends that gave her a ride, and she comes into the house.
So she goes in and says hi to her mom, says hi to Katie, and then starts whispering to Katie something. So then she leaves the room, and Katie then turns to Anna, the matriarch, and convinces her to have dinner an hour early. And everyone's just oh, but why? It's oh, well, I have a sick relative, and I would like to leave early. Yes.
Katie makes it seem like the request is coming from her, because she has to go travel right after dinner to go visit a sick relative.
Yes.
And the mom's like, that's fine with me. We're going to need to trick my husband into being okay with this, because
there's a lot of that in this movie. Yeah. We need to trick my husband. Because
he's outnumbered. There's 6 women and 2.5 men in this house.
Katie goes back into the dining room where Esther is, and she's like, okay, so why did I just lie for you? And it turns out that Rose, the eldest daughter, she's expecting a phone call from
long distance
from New York.
And Esther is convinced that this phone call that's going to happen at 6:30 tonight, which is why dinner has to be over by then. So instead of eating at 6, we're going to eat at 5, so that the dining room
whole
is
family
clear.
isn't listening to her phone call.
Yeah, because the only phone in the house is in the dining room. They think he's going to propose.
Because he's calling long distance. What else would you be calling for?
Obviously. Wild. They call Rose a spinster, which makes no sense unless she's...
I think she's older than Lon.
Is she 26? Is that what they said?
Something like that.
Yeah, so she must be older than Lon.
Because it goes Rose, Lon, Esther, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so Lon isn't the oldest. Esther's old enough that in 1903, some more traditional people were like, oh, she's an old maid. Rose, and so that's the idea from Esther, at least, that Rose needs this proposal because Rose should have been long married, which is bullshit. 1903.
Anyway, So just then, Rose gets home and runs to Esther and is like, John is outside. And so they run outside. John is their next door neighbor.
Hunky
next door neighbor. I think he just moved.
Yeah,
and
like
so they
3
just, like,
weeks ago.
Oh my God, it's so funny because they just like sit on the edge of this balcony and like pose and like try not to look at him. It's all very silly. He doesn't notice them at all.
It's very like teen girls going to the mall after school to try to like get the attention of the boys.
Yes,
who are
absolutely.
just oblivious.
Totally oblivious.
Oh gosh, and
Big
John
dummies.
is unsurprisingly oblivious.
Oh, he's such a himbo.
He's such a himbo. He does not take the cue, even though they're literally like essentially just like throwing their eyelashes at him from next door, and he's like finishes smoking his pipe or whatever, and he goes back inside.
Yeah.
And Esther's like, oh, isn't he dreamy?
And Rose is like, oh, there's more to life than boys. I think she's trying to convince herself at this point because she's nervous about this phone call. But then Esther, our Judy Garland, starts to sing the song The Boy Next Door, which is just about, how she's in love with the boy next door. It's a pretty simple song.
I was a little, not alarmed, but I was a little taken aback because, like, I've heard Judy Garland sing, but she seems so youthful and, like, full of teenage hope and like such an ingenue, like a young ingenue in this song. And then her voice is so rich and her voice sounded older than I was expecting. And like I remembered her singing in Wizard of Oz, but obviously she was like 13
Much
or whatever
younger
at the time. So she still seemed younger, but her voice seemed so rich in this moment that I was a little taken aback by it, but ultimately just like went with it.
Yeah, so I'll be going into Judy Garland this time, and that's a lot of comments about her voice was that it sounded way older, way more mature than she actually was. I think someone described it as like the voice of a wounded woman, just in terms of just like the way that it was able to express emotion and like depth in a way that didn't quite match the age that she actually was.
Well, it makes me think of who dubbed Deborah Carr?
Marnie Nixon?
Marnie Nixon. It makes me think of how Marnie Nixon was grateful that she was sick for when she recorded Deborah Carr's vocals for King and I, because Marnie Nixon has such a classic pingy, bright soprano, and that's almost the vocals I expected from this young, barely like 17 lovesick teenager that Judy Garland was portraying, and then it did sound so much more mature.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. We get the song The Boy Next Door. It is what it sounds like. It's an I want song, and she wants the boy next door.
I mean, yeah. Later in... Oh, wait, no. This is wrong because I thought there was a young son. Please erase that.
We get a recurring gag about the tomato soup. That's all I'm going to address on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We learn that Mom knows about why...
Mom isn't an idiot.
Yeah, Mom's not an idiot. She's like, Katie, we're not moving dinner for Katie. We're moving it so that Rose can have this phone call. And I'm okay with it, but again, your father can't know.
We need to trick your father.
Because
I don't know why.
Because he doesn't seem to understand why other people think Rose important. Should be married and why it's so important that she takes his phone call.
Right.
We then get to meet
the last daughter,
Tootie, who is what, 6?
Yeah, 6.
A ragamuffin, to say the least.
Just very morbid. Like, her dolls die and she buries them in the backyard. It's fucking great.
Yeah. But we need her because
vibe.
she's just hanging out with the ice guy, like the ice wagon man, riding with the wagon. He's like doing his rounds and she's just hitched a ride and he's going to ride until she gets home. And they argue about the pronunciation of like St. Louis versus St. Louis.
Yep.
It's a silly scene that introduces us to Tootie as this precocious 6-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. We cut back to the house. Esther and Rose are singing Meet Me in St. Louis, and just then, Dad comes home, and he's like, oh, stop that. He's in a very bad mood. He had a bad day.
Yeah, he's a grouchy lawyer, is what I wrote.
Yes. Well, and I mean, I honestly think that he isn't normally this grouchy. He just had a very bad day.
And also, so he had a very bad day. He lost his case, and also, I think everyone in this family has been singing Meet Me in St. Louis a lot recently.
That's
and he's
fair.
like, I'm sick of this song, and not only am I sick of it, the fair that the song is for, this like World's Fair that's going to be in St. Louis, it's not for another 7 months. Please, I will not survive until the fair if you keep singing this song. Which, like, fair.
I would be upset too. If
someone in my life was singing like Christmas songs in April, I'd say, please, dear God, I'm excited for Christmas, but please stop.
It's like, just takes them by the shoulders, just like, please stop.
Please stop. We have so much more to go through.
We have so much more to go through. So he says, I need to like wash off this day. I'm going to go take a bath before dinner. And they try to like be like, actually, today we are having dinner early. And he patriarchs all over them and just storms away to take a bath.
Yeah, and he's like, I am the man of the house, and we eat dinner when I say it. We're eating it at the usual hour, and he just dashes all their hopes, dreams, and attempts to
all
move
their
dinner
plans.
Earlier. Cut to dinner at the normal time, not at the requested earlier time.
Nope.
And
it's after 6:30.
It's after 6:30, which means not only Warren, which is the guy Rose was waiting for the phone call, hasn't called yet. Dad, like, comes down to sit and have dinner, and everyone is trying to rush through dinner. It's so funny. Katie,
pours the soup and then immediately takes it away.
Yeah, and like Dad has had like one bite. She brings out the roast beef when like the appetizer soup is like still on the table. And Dad's like, what the fuck is going on? And immediately the girls are like, oh, so I heard about this person, like trying to like distract him from questioning why they're rushing. And then the phone rings.
So Dad answers and is just like, hello? No, I didn't call New York. You called me. And then hangs up.
He's like, I won't accept a long distance call from New York. No. Hangs up the phone.
The entire room just deflates.
Oh, you can hear it in the air. And Dad goes to sit down. He's like, that was weird. Why is everyone acting so weird?
And then Rose starts crying.
Yeah.
And finally, his wife tells him what that call was supposed to be. And he's like, did everyone know except for me? What is this? Why did you lie? And he's like, this is bullshit. I will take all incoming calls in this house because I am a man. And just then the phone rings again. And he like pauses and he's like, okay, Rose, you can answer the phone.
I did really like that there's one moment where his wife goes, you know, not every phone call is for you.
Honestly, Anna has the best lines. She's so
great.
Funny.
We really like Anna.
Ugh. Oh yeah, Anna and Katie, honestly, they definitely run that house all.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But Dad deflects the phone to Rose, and she goes to answer it, and shockingly not, it's Warren again.
Yep.
So like at least he tried a second time.
He called back, yeah.
But here's the thing, the phone is on the wall of the dining room. They are all 3 feet away and just like not making any noise to like not make it awkward, but also like they're very much in the room with this phone call.
Absolutely. And they can hear his voice coming through, so they can hear both ends of this conversation.
Think about what phones were in 1903. It's the like cylinder that you hold
the cylinder,
to your ear.
A string, and a prayer, honestly.
I think you would have had to yell regardless, but like also the fact that this long distance, they're just yelling like, oh, hi, Warren. Do you have anything you want to ask me?
It's like, no, it's just amazing. I'm in New York and you're in Missouri.
And it's just awkward. It's an awkward phone call. And he doesn't propose.
Ugh. And the phone call ends with Rose being a bit shirty towards him.
I think it's justified. She's like, well,
absolutely
if you're not going to
justified.
talk to me, I'm going to go back to dinner with my family who want to talk to me.
Yeah, exactly, because he doesn't have anything to say except for, wow, isn't this cool? So she goes and sits back down, and everyone immediately starts talking at once just to try and distract her and change the subject.
So sweet. And then,
surprise,
we get a fancy transition of we get to read a whole ass letter on screen.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Essentially, we get to read the letter that we learn that Esther writes
Esther invites the next door neighbor, John, the one that she's crushing on, to a party that they're throwing.
Yeah. They're throwing a goodbye party for Esther's brother, Lon, who is leaving for Princeton at the end of the summer, essentially, soon. We've learned the conceit of the next scene.
It's like, why is there a party? Here we go. So, Esther is a thirsty bitch.
We cut to Esther and Rose in their bedroom getting ready for the night. And Esther's like, I think I'm going to let John kiss me tonight. And Rose is like,
have you ever met?
Have you said a single word to this man?
And so the party starts, they go downstairs, and so Esther goes downstairs and, like, says hi to a bunch of people slowly working around the room, getting towards John, and who's talking to her brother, and then, like, backs into her brother and is like, oh, hello, why don't you introduce me?
Yeah. And then she gets properly introduced to John, and then she gets her claws into him and like whizzes him around the room for introductions. And then we get a very well-timed party song and dance, because this is what people did at parties in 1930s. I
think Esther and John dance together. All of the men are dressed the same, and I couldn't tell them apart. So I didn't know which one was Lon and which one was John.
It's honestly, helpful. I think it's a partner song, and it's one of those silly songs with like lots of people partnered, where like all the men are in a line and all the women are in a line. You like trade partners and go along. It's silly. At one point, John loses his partner and has to do the skipping thing. Anyway, it's silly. The song ends, and John turns to Esther. He goes, I spy two little mice, meaning the two youngest sisters have snuck down the staircase.
Tootie and Agnes,
and are peering through the banisters at the party down below.
And they're like, I want to sing and dance too. And they're like, okay, we can do one song, and then you guys have to go back to bed.
Esther is like so embarrassed, and Rose is like, well, let them stay. They can stay for one more song. And
Tootie...
Oh, you take it away. I don't remember.
Tootie sings. She's like, I have a song I want to sing. And it is, I was drunk last night. And everyone laughs and says, oh, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, because her older brother Lon taught it to her. And Esther is once again mortified.
Mortified. And then John, or is it John or is it Lon? I don't know, because they look like the same person.
It's Lon.
One of them whispers to Tootie, and Tootie says, oh, me and Esther should do the cakewalk.
Essentially...
They do a song together called Under the Bamboo Tree.
Yeah, it's Esther and Tootie who have clearly, like, rehearsed this. It's a shtick that they do at parties. It's a cute... I love the dress that Esther's wearing, this, like, blue tassel dress. There's, like, hats and canes and props, and it's cute.
Yes. One of the hats that she steals is John's hat. And this is important because it comes back later.
Yes, because literally later that night, everyone else has left, including Lon, who has left the house to escort a friend home. And it's all who are left are Rose, Esther, and John. And you know why John's still there? Even though he lives next door, he can't find his hat.
Oh no, I wonder what happened to it. And so Esther's like, oh, I think I know where I saw it last, and goes and pulls it out of the bread box. This bitch hid his hat in the bread box. Wild.
And she almost gets away with it, and then he's like, why are there
raisins?
Oh,
so good. And then Rose is the best sister. She was like, don't stay up too late, like big wide eyes, and then just like walks upstairs and leaves them alone.
Unchaperoned. Where are their parents?
I don't know.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. They have this scene where they keep saying goodnight and like shaking hands, and they keep like grabbing hands. And she's like, oh, I hope I'll see you. There's like a trolley thing going on. Hopefully I'll see you there. And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then he's about to leave, and she's like, actually, could you help me turn off all the lights?
Like close up the house.
So I don't want to be alone in the dark. And I'm like, saucy.
It's so funny. It's so just like grasping at straws for anything to keep them,
keep in the same room.
And so Esther has him like, so it's all gasoline, like it's all
it's all gaslit. And so you have to like turn off the gas with this long poker thing at the chandelier, and so he's like the long reach and she's like reaching up behind him. It's like the reversal of like the man behind the woman like pulling her hand. It was like her just showing him where to pull the gas off, and it's just a whole thing.
But what I think is so funny about it is that like, so they go around the room and like there are some things that like Esther needs John's help for because she's like too small and dainty. But she like at one point sings to herself and kind of like a little like Manic Pixie Dream Girl 1903 edition, like, like aren't I fun? And poor John is like, I have been asked to do a task. I will turn off these lights. Oblivious. It's so
At one point he's like, oh, I like your perfume. It smells like the one my grandma uses.
Oh my God.
And she's like, thanks.
And so they accomplish this task.
He does call her beautiful.
Yeah, in a backwards way. And then, so she's gone up like 2 steps on the stairs and he's on the ground floor and she's like leaning over the banister so they're eye to eye. And there's the Over the Banister song. John sings a song to Esther.
Yeah.
She like gets to join in on the chorus and it's just more flirty songs. And then they once again keep shaking hands and he compliments her on her strong grip.
She's like, you have a strong grip for a girl. And then he flees like.
Yeah. And Esther's just like,
great.
What the fuck was that?
She just like turns some of the lights back on and then goes upstairs.
Cut to the next day. So in this last scene, Esther had invited John to join her and her family
on like a trolley ride.
Yeah, so they're taking the trolley from town to go see the fairgrounds because even though the fair is not going to be for another 6 months, they're like, there's not a lot. Again, the theme of this movie is there's not a lot to do in 1903. So they're going to go see like what like the progression of the fairgrounds has been.
Yeah.
And there's like one trolley that's going to take them there. So everyone's getting onto the trolley and Esther's like looking for John and he's not there. And the trolley guy's there. Like, I've got a schedule. I'm not waiting for anyone.
The trolley waits for no tide or man.
So Esther begrudgingly, sadly, like gets on the trolley not seeing John. And I didn't realize that the trolley song that we know comes in 2 parts. First, there's an ensemble trolley group song. I had I didn't recognize any of the lyrics. Same melody, same concept, but everyone being like, "I'm so excited," and Esther is just like storm clouds over her.
Damn it! I know. But then halfway through this song, a guy yells, and she sees that John was running late. This is a theme; he's late a lot, and is running to chase the trolley because he plays basketball. This is why he's late a lot. It's not a lie either.
Forgotten about the basketball because I was just imagining basketball in 1903.
It's very silly. So anyway, so he's chasing after the trolley and Esther's suddenly so excited and she starts to sing sort of the trolley song that we know.
Without like waiting for him to get on.
She doesn't help him get on. She's just like,
I'm so overwhelmed with my love for this man. I'm going to burst into song. Here's my question. I love the trolley song. It's so fun to sing. It's so fun to listen to. It's a fun, bright song.
Yeah.
And it sits really well in her voice. Here's my question. The song is in past tense. Like the lyrics are talking about like how this guy, assumed John, is like, he took his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. Like none of this has happened.
No, she's just imagining. So
she's imagining a situation that could very well happen, but it's like he's literally 6 feet away, like just trying to get on the goddamn trolley. I'm so confused. I don't know what this song could have been, what the lyrics could have been, but do you understand why I'm confused by it?
Shaky sweaters, Anna. Shaky sweaters.
Shaky sweaters. Because having never seen this film, I always thought this song took place after this encounter that she's singing about and like recounting to other excited parties.
No, it's before the encounter happens.
She's imagining a hypothetical of what's going to happen in 5 minutes. And the party she's singing about can hear her. It's
I know, he walks up at the end and like sits down next to her while she finishes a song and then she looks very uncomfortable and awkward. Yeah. It's very weird.
It's funny because it's such an iconic song and it doesn't quite fit in the scene they put it in. That's my gripe. That's my
It's a good gripe. All right, so we cut
oh my gosh.
fall and Halloween. This whole Halloween sequence is bonkers town.
Wild. Okay. Halloween, the Smith house has been made spooky.
Spooky.
And the two littlest girls, Agnes and Tootie, have gotten dressed up to go trick-or-treating. And what kids did for Halloween at the turn of the century is very
arson,
different.
apparently.
And vandalism.
Yeah.
And just
there was no candy. They just burned shit.
And played ding dong ditch.
Flour at people.
Threw flour at people when they answered the door.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, they're just hooligans causing mayhem.
Now, I did love that grandfather gave them advice. He's like, if you wet the flour a little bit, it's harder to get off. And he's like, thanks, Grandpa.
I guess you're right, because there wasn't trick-or-treating. It was just a night for kids to run rampant and, like, people to be, like, a little more okay with it. Essentially, there's a bunch of neighborhood kids that are like, all right, you take this house, you take this house. And there's one house that no one is brave enough to go to because a really old,
meanest man in town.
Yeah.
Who also runs the mortgage. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't even remember the guy's name.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
But Tootie keeps trying to be like, I want to tag along to this group. I want to tag along to this group. And they're all like, no, you're too small. You have to stay here and mind the fire.
Yeah, mind this burning mass of wood.
And no one wants her on their team, but no one's brave enough to go to the scariest house. So Tootie's like, I'm going to prove I'm the toughest kid. I'm going to go by myself to this mean man's house, knock on his door, and when
tell him I hate him.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, you have to knock on the door when they open, tell them you hate them, throw flour in their face, and then run away.
And my question is, why would any adult answer the door on this day of the... Why would you... If that's what they're doing every year, this feels like...
Either it's the first time they've done that, or it's like such like a tradition that they like are willing
adults
to
are
put
just
up
like,
with getting like
fuck it.
floured. Like, I remember doing this when I was a youngster. I don't know.
Nah, none of that, thank you.
Anyway, Tootie does exactly that.
Is terrified,
shaking in her boots.
Oh yeah.
And flours this old gentleman and runs away, and the kids are like, I can't believe you did that. You're the bravest of all of us. It's
whatever.
An inconsequential scene.
Yes. Later that night, we see Rose getting home. She has been given a ride by this guy. I don't know his name.
I wrote down
It's a colonel?
Yeah,
he is a colonel, but I don't know anything other than that.
And she tries
she's like, do you want to come in for some ice cream? And he's like, no, and then leaves.
Missed that opportunity.
Yep. So she comes home, and Esther had seen her get out and was like, how did you meet? And like start chatting.
Who is this guy? And
then they hear Tootie scream.
They hear a scream. How they knew it was Tootie?
Honestly, I feel like she screams a lot, and they're just like, I know that scream.
And like, she's not near the house. She's like downtown by the trolley. I don't know how small this town is.
I don't know how this works.
But they're all like, oh my God, that was Tootie. And they all like run out of the house having heard this scream. Yeah. And they find her. Esther finds Tootie. She is crying. Her face is bloody, and she's lost a tooth. Yeah. And she like gets carried into the house. She's despondent. She's like super upset. And they're all like, oh my gosh, what happened? They lay her down on the sofa, and through her tears, she says that John Truitt, the next door neighbor and Esther's love interest, tried to kill her.
Yes. Which is insane. Like, everyone is just like, that can't, you can't have, like, no, something else must have happened. So they have a doctor there, and he's like, no, this looks like she got hit in the face.
Yeah, like, there's no broken bone. She's gonna need a couple stitches. She lost a tooth, but she's a child, so it doesn't matter.
It's like a milk teeth. It's not one of her, so like it'll grow back in. It'll be okay. But like, no, it looks like she got hit in the face with something. And Esther sees red. And she runs over to John's place and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, she finds him on his front porch. And she's like, do you think it's fun to beat up little girls? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
She tries to beat she does not listen to anything that he's saying. She tries to beat the shit out of him. She bites him, and then she calls him a bully. Like, I never want to see you again, and runs home. And he's just left like having like been through a whirlwind, like like the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes, how it travels like, by like tornado. Like that's what happened to John just now.
Exactly.
And Esther comes home triumphant to...
It's like, I told him, sort of deal.
I got him. She comes in and she tells Tootie that. Tootie has like gotten into like clean clothes, and Agnes and Rose is there, and Esther's like, I got him. And then it turns out, because Agnes comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, Tootie, I can't believe you did that. And it comes to light that Tootie lied about it.
Yeah. What had actually happened was she had like created a fake body to put on the trolley tracks in an effort to derail the trolley and make it fall off of its tracks, which could have killed people.
Multiple people.
And the police were looking for who put this body there, and John was trying to protect her from the police and hid her so that she could get away, but she fell somehow, and that's how her face got hit.
I don't even know how she got hit, but she was so afraid of the police potentially like finding her that she lied and made up a story of how
that John tried to kill her.
And Agnes was in on this, and Agnes was like, I can't believe you ran so fast. Like, Agnes helps Tootie make this fake body and like put it on the tracks, and this all comes to light. Esther's mad.
And Esther
everyone else is
horrified.
Esther's horrified, but like everyone else is way too cool about
way too chill about this. They're like, that was really dangerous, and I'm like, no, guys, I feel like this should be more of a big deal.
This should be
that, like, one, you can't accuse someone of trying to murder you when that didn't happen.
And also the fact
that you're trying to like
derail
kill people with a trolley.
They are essentially like, oh, those meddling kids.
Oh,
classic
I remember
child.
when I was their age.
Yeah. I remember when I made a fake body and tried to derail a trolley. No.
Wild.
Everyone's way too cool about it. Like, Tootie is not punished in any form. And Esther runs to John's house. He's still on the porch, just like, what the fuck just happened to me?
Well, I don't know what happened.
And she apologizes. He accepts
and he
her
says,
apology.
If you aren't busy tomorrow night, you could beat me up again.
I thought he was way too cool about being accused of attempted murder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what kind of like Wild West legal
bullshit
St. Louis is doing.
But so she's about to leave, and he's like, wait. Can you help me turn off the lights?
Oh. And then he pulls her into a kiss.
He pulls her in, and they share their first kiss. And it's a very, very big, like a 50s, just like smack. Yeah. But there's no romance involved. It's just face mashing.
No. And Esther gets back home next door with stars in her eyes.
Oh,
and
she's a bit of a daze.
Floats through the room, and everyone's like, "What happened to you?"
And Mr. Smith comes home, and Tootie immediately tells him everything. It's like, I built a body, and I put it on the tracks, and then John saved me, but then I got hit by the police. And he's like, what? And his wife is just like, don't listen to her. She fell down. She got 2 stitches. She's fine.
Yeah. And it's important to note
Bamboozle the husband.
Bamboozle the husband. Everyone is home. All the kids are home for this scene when the dad comes home on Halloween night. He arrives home. He gives his wife a gift and says
She's
has
like,
an
this
announcement.
Is suspicious.
Yeah, immediately suspicious. And he says, I have an announcement. It's great news. He's a lawyer, as we've mentioned. And he goes, the firm is sending me to New York. And they're like, oh, that'll be fun for like a week.
And Grandpa's like, I'll take care of everyone while you're gone.
Yeah, I'll take good care of them. And he's like, no. They are moving me permanently to New York to be the head of their office. We're all gonna move after Christmas. Isn't that great news? And no one is happy.
Devastated. Yeah.
First of all, Dad just classic like patriarchal bullshit. Dad was just like, yes, I will accept this position. I will never consult my family on something because I am a man.
Absolutely. It's not like they're about to finish their schooling here. So everyone is devastated. Esther and John just had their kiss, and Rose has like found this guy that she's kind of into. Their
life is in St. Louis.
Yes, and then Esther's just like, will we miss the fair? Like, it's... Everyone's really, really shocked and upset.
Yeah,
and he tries to bribe them with a cake that Katie made.
Dad's just like, I don't know why everyone's so upset about this. It's a good opportunity for me, and you all should go along with everything I say. And none of them are buying it. They all, excuse themselves one by one. Mm-hmm. And Mother goes to play the piano despondently.
Yes.
And it's a duet. It's called You and I. Mm-hmm. And she starts to play it, and Father joins in. Papa joins in.
But it's too high for him, so she has to bring it down to his key.
And one by one, the children come back downstairs and listen. And I guess they're all just like accepted their fate. They're like, he's the man of the house, and whatever he says goes.
What are they gonna do? Yeah.
Cut to our next title card, which is Winter, 1903. Wintertime. And you know it's winter because instead of horse-drawn carriages, they're horse-drawn sleighs.
And it is Christmas Eve, I believe, and there is a ball happening that evening. Everyone's home, so Lon is home from Princeton, and they're all building snowmen. Now, the girls start making fun of Lon because the woman that he asked to go to the ball with him, who is Lucille, turned him down. Apparently he was late asking her, and she had already said yes to the colonel who Rose was into. So we see where this is going.
I thought what you said makes more sense. For whatever reason, is the colonel also named
I think so.
Warren?
It can't be the same guy.
It can't be the same person, or can it? No. Cause I have Lucille and Warren are going.
Hold on.
I'm so confused.
I'm looking at the cast. I think there's only one Warren. Yes, it's the fucking same Warren. I thought it was a different person. He came back?
It's long distance
who now
Warren.
Apparently lives in town. It's so weird.
Or maybe he was just like visiting New York. I don't know. But long story short, neither Rose nor her brother Lon have dates to this ball tonight because the two people they wanted to go with are going with each other. And so Katie, who's just hanging out and doing laundry in this winter, is like, well, why don't you two go together as like brother-sister dates? And they're all like, absolutely not.
Esther is just like, I don't think it's embarrassing at all. I think it'll be great. If I didn't have a date, if John wasn't taking me, then I would be happy to go with Lon.
And they're like, that's not making us feel better. But eventually Esther says, you know what? I won't go to the ball if you two aren't there. So they're like, all right, fine, fuck it. We'll go together.
In like a nicer way. Like they're fine with each other.
Yeah. Not in the way I just
Cut to later. They're putting on corsets. Oh, God.
Corsets. Cut to a corset scene. Rose is helping Esther into a corset, and I'm so glad we don't do this anymore.
Like, I can't breathe.
Like, listen, I love a good ball, not at the expense of my ribs.
And now, while they're getting together, while they're putting themselves together, they make a plan. They're like, we're gonna ruin Warren's date with Lucille. We're gonna ruin their evening. Just like, we have this plan.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have a sister, and neither does Grace, but this feels like something like sisters would do.
Just like, oh, your date is taking someone else? Let's ruin it.
Just then, knock at the door. John has come to visit, and so Esther like puts on like a robe because she's like still in her corset, and he's come to visit her early, and she's like, oh, that's so sweet of him. Turns out John has bad news, and it's truly the worst excuse. Okay, John's like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't take you to the ball tonight that I said I was going to because I didn't get my tux from the tailor shop in time because I was too busy playing basketball in December.
I didn't even think that it was in December. What a dummy.
I'm assuming he was playing indoors.
It must have been.
But she's like, well, can you borrow your father's tux? And he was like, that was my father's tux.
He's like, does anyone else? And he's like, anyone else who has a tuxedo is going to the dance in that tuxedo. At least he's
like, listen, I understand that you're upset. Not quite empathetic enough for me, but at least he was like, sucks to suck.
Like, do you hate me? And she's like, no, I just hate basketball.
Oh my God, big Troy Bolton energy.
Yeah,
Ball
absolutely.
is not life, John.
He's like, well, we could do something else tonight. And I'm like, sir, is that a reference?
Like, he offers like sex as an alternative, but also offers like, we can go out to dinner instead. But like, everyone in St. Louis is going to this goddamn ball.
Packing.
Yeah, because they're leaving right after Christmas. Like, in 2 days, they're leaving for New York. And Esther is heartbroken.
Devastated. So she goes upstairs and she starts crying, and her sister Rose is like, well, you can just come with me and Lon. And she was like, no, that's too embarrassing. And Rose is like, but it's not embarrassing for me.
And just then, Grandpa to the rescue. Grandpa comes into Rose's room, and he was like, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe this is a coincidence. I definitely haven't heard anything that's happened just now, but I conveniently did get my suit out of the mothballs yesterday.
Yeah, my tux was pretty good at dancing back in the day.
And he like says like, you've done your hair and makeup already, like it would be a shame to waste it. And very, very sweet, offers to be her date, and Esther decides go with Grandpa to the dance, which is so sweet.
Very adorable. Cut to the ball.
Oh my gosh.
So the plan to ruin Lucille's dance is they have her dance card, and before she gets there, they fill it out with the worst dancers in town. The duds of the group that just are
the duds of St. Louis
in 1903. And so they're just like, this'll be great, this'll ruin her evening, she won't get to dance with Warren, she won't get to dance with Lon. And so just then Warren appears with Lucille, and Lucille is so nice. Like, she's just like, I've heard all about you from Lon. Like, it's so wonderful to meet you. I hope that when you move to New York, you'll let me take you out and, like, I'll show you the town. It'll be really great. And she's just like...
And Esther's like, I don't know what to do with this nicety.
I know. Well, and before Esther appears, she's like, and just to say, we're all adults here. Warren can't stop talking about you, and I don't know, maybe you two should dance together, but then I will be without a date, and like glares at
Looks
Lon.
at Lon.
And Lon is like, well, then I would be without one, maybe we should dance. And it's just like a whole...
I love Lucille. Lucille's my favorite character.
She's so good, and she just says what she wants.
This is childish bullshit.
I want to be with him, you want to be with him, so let's
and the men are like,
swap.
Great. And then Esther arrives.
Esther
appears. Oh my gosh.
It's like,
Esther's
I filled out
Lucille,
your dance card. And then her sister's just like, plans have changed.
Yeah, Rose is like, you didn't, shut up, like elbowing her. Oh my gosh. And so suddenly Esther is out of the loop. Rose is super happy to be with Warren. Lucille's super happy to be with Lon, and Esther's stuck with Grandpa.
Yeah. And Esther, instead of giving Lucille the dance card with all the duds, sees that Lucille was a nice person and that her family's happy. So she says, oh, no, my apologies. That's actually my dance card. And like gives her dance card. So she has to dance with
Esther
all
has
of
to
these
dance with all the
horrible
duds.
dancers.
And we get quite the montage of Esther just dealing with these like,
you know what it reminded me of?
Dancers.
Is the opening of Princess Diaries 2, where she has to dance at the ball, where it's like, you are a beautiful dancer, like a deer in the forest.
It made me think of that scene in Cinderella when the prince has to dance with all of the like...
That's another one.
Same energy of just like all these absolute psychopaths.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of bad dancers. And then Grandpa
finally,
rescues her.
after like 5 in a row, Grandpa's like, I have the next dance. And the 12-year-old's like, but I'm on the card. And Grandpa's like, beat it, kid. So Grandpa sweeps Esther along the dance floor. And then they kind of like move away from the dance floor to like where this large Christmas tree is. Mm-hmm. And they go to like polka around the Christmas tree. And when they are hidden from our view behind the Christmas tree, an old classic switcheroo happens, and they come out from behind the Christmas tree, and John has become Grandpa. Yeah. He's in his tux.
Reverse that.
No, because John has taken Grandpa's
Grandpa has
place.
become John.
In my mind, it works either way. Tomatoes. John's there. He got his tux. Esther is so happy to see him, and they dance the night away.
Yeah. Cut to later, outside. No, we don't see this, but apparently John has just proposed to Esther. Mm-hmm. And she has accepted. But they're trying to figure out how this is going to work, because she's supposed to move to New York. I think she still has like half a year left of school. Mm-hmm. And he's like, if we're going to move in together, then like, you know, I have to support you right away. I don't need to go to college to be an engineer. I can just get like a base job now, and that way like we can move in together and like start our family right away. And she's like, oh, I don't know, like that's really important, and maybe we can make this work long distance just while we finish up school. And but either way, she agrees to marry him, but they decide not to tell anyone.
Her future is very uncertain. They're like, let's just keep this between us now. After this scene, Esther gets home and finds Tootie, who doesn't get to go to the ball, Tootie is waiting up for Santa Claus, and she is, like, tearful, like he hasn't come yet.
And she's also worried about this move, and it's just like, it doesn't matter how many toys he gives me, I'm gonna take every single one of them with me to New York. And they're all sort of worried about like what the sizing is gonna be, because the house that they're in right now is huge and fits all of them pretty comfortably, but given New York real estate,
City apartments
not so much.
are not the same. But Esther sings to Tootie, have yourself a merry little Christmas, as a way to like set her fears at ease. You know the song. I didn't know this was from this movie.
Yeah, it's a very poignant and kind of sad version of this song. And
it doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all, because Tootie bursts into tears, runs outside, and starts beating and breaking up all of these snowmen
that they had made earlier.
And one of them was a little polar bear, and she decapitated the polar bear.
I'm so over this badly behaved child.
Yes.
I do not find it
Worst.
endearing. She's the worst. And her whole reasoning for destroying them is she goes, if I can't have them because I'm moving to New York, then no one can. I'm just like, what
that is toxic behavior,
are you
madam.
Raising?
Yeah.
And at this point, Papa sees this happening out the window.
Right. So Esther comes down and is like reassuring her. And it's like, what's important is that we as a family will be together no matter where we are. It's always been us, and it always will be us. And Dad sees this happen, like, because he hears her crying running downstairs and looks out the window and sees Esther sort of trying to reassure Tootie. Oh, she's like
Tootie's
deep
wailing.
breathing. Yeah. So he sees this whole
father.
Scene.
Papa.
Yeah, the dad. And he walks through the house and sees all of their things like taken down off the walls and packed up, and he's a bit despondent. And
I think it really hits him how jarring of a transition this would be, and how much it makes his family sad to leave their home and their life
and suffer
here,
yeah,
just because of a selfish thing that he wants to do for his career.
So he sits in the living room and he like lights his pipe, and then the little bing light bulb comes in over his head, and he summons everyone downstairs. Like,
family!
It is midnight.
Yeah.
So he gets everyone downstairs, and he is like, I've made a decision. We're not moving to New York, and I don't want to hear another word about it. You guys don't understand. This house is our home. And St. Louis is like up and coming. Like, he's like arguing his old positions.
They're all just like,
and so
okay.
They're all just like, sure, Dad. Like, there's a lot of just like, yeah, okay. But everyone's really, really happy to be staying. Just then, the funniest thing in the world.
Joy.
The funniest thing in the world happens. Holy shit. Do you want to take it, Anna? Please do.
I'm going to need some help with it just because it's been a week.
Okay.
What happens while the family is still reeling from the father's announcement that they're not, like, they're still processing this news? Warren, Rose's love, bursts into the living room.
At like 1 o'clock in the morning.
And he essentially says, Rose, I love you more than anything else in the world. I can't live my life without you. Will you marry me?
No, not will you marry me. We are going to get married. And then he angrily points at her and says, I love you. And then runs out of the house.
Does not wait for her to respond or react. It is the funniest thing.
Oh my God. I had to pause whenever I was watching this. I was like, what just happened?
I love you.
Oh, it was so funny.
So
I want that as a GIF. Just like angry love.
I'll make it.
Thank you.
And the family kind of like reels from that, and they're all like, "Oh, like everything,
congrats,
I guess you're getting married. Everything worked out. We get to stay in St. Louis." And then they realize
it's Christmas.
Yeah, Tootie had been asking about opening her presents in like an earlier scene, and they're like, "No, you have to wait till Christmas." And they're like, "Oh, it's technically Christmas. You know what? In the spirit,
fuck it.
Let's all open our presents now."
Yeah, we're all kind of happy. We're all awake. Let's go. So they open all their presents, and there's this really, really sweet moment where Anna, the mom, sort of steps aside from the family, and she starts to tear up a bit, just like at the relief of knowing that she's going to be able to stay in this home that she's curated, that she's lived in. And the dad comes up behind her, and they just sort of like grasp hands for a moment and then hug. And it's just like a really tiny, sweet, nonverbal moment of just like a bit of an acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not enough, in my opinion.
No, it's not. No. But
to redeem.
Like for 1903.
Yeah.
You take what you can get.
Cut to our final title card, which is spring 1904. We see all the family getting into multiple carriages. Rose gets into a carriage with Warren. Everyone is in white because it's Fair Day. The World Fair in St. Louis has opened. You know what I thought? Poor Lon doesn't get to go to the fair.
Oh no.
The whole purpose of this, like, everyone's joy. Lon's away in New Jersey at Princeton.
New Jersey, Jesus. So they go to the fair. It's quite busy. There is a shot with two nuns, which kind of made the entire ending for me, because I don't know why they're in this shot. They're like right next to the main characters, and I'm just like, are they gonna have some interaction?
No.
Nope. There's just these two nuns with these big old fucking habits just chilling. And I was like, I feel like that's what I would be cast as. Just the two nuns right at the very end. But then they just go to the fair and everything gets lit up and they have a good time and they all go to dinner.
Yeah.
The end.
End of film. End of play.
Yeah.
Didn't need to happen. This last scene
could have ended with the I love you.
Could have ended with I love you, them staying in St. Louis and opening their presents on Christmas Day. I guess they wanted to be like, hey, there was a fair after all. I don't know.
P.S. There was a fair.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oof. Okay. That's plot.
That's the plot, y'all. Anna, what'd you think?
I did not know what to expect going in. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's something I'll seek to watch again. Here's the thing, it's on
TV around Christmas.
That's the thing. I didn't realize that. It's always on at Christmas because it's associated with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Of course.
And I'm like, maybe I'll have it on, but like I didn't find myself compelled by the plot enough to add it to the traditions of Christmas movies I watch every year.
Yeah. It was just a very bare bones plot.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like there's a lot of real conflict.
And what conflict there was, I disagreed with morally.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not stressed by this. I'm just angry.
So, I mean, the songs were lovely. Judy was excellent. But yeah, it was fine. It was never a part of my childhood. So looking at it just from the lens of like, oh, this is a movie and not like a nostalgia trip, it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we do a little drinks and dramaturgy?
Yes.
Dramaturgy report. We have a lot because there's a lot of important and famous people attached to this. So this was directed by Vicente Minnelli, who was an American stage director and film director. We know him as responsible for directing many classic movie musicals like Meet Me in St. Louis, An American in Paris, The Bandwagon, and Gigi. American in Paris and Gigi both won Academy Awards for Best Picture. In addition to directing these movie musicals, he also was known for making a lot of comedies and melodramas. This is the film that I think he and Judy Garland had crossed paths on another project in different roles. I don't think he was directing. I think he also worked as a costume designer on a lot of stuff, so he might have crossed paths
He was really into costumes and sets.
This was the production. This film, Meet Me in St. Louis, was responsible for the spark of their relationship. They started dating during production, and they got married
right after,
like
I think.
the next year.
Yeah.
They got married in 1945 and were married until 51.
Yes.
And we know them as the parents of Liza Minnelli.
Yes, of course.
So a little bit of background on Vincent Minnelli. His first job in the theater was, as you said, costume and set designer in Chicago.
Not the musical.
No, the Chicago theater where he worked merged with a bigger like national chain, and so sometimes he had to go to New York to work on shows. After doing that many times, he ended up moving to New York. He got hired at Radio City after its opening in 1932 to work as a set designer, and he kind of worked his way up. He was to stage director. After leaving Radio City, the first thing he ever directed was a musical review for the Schuberts, which opened in 35 and was actually like pretty successful and had a 2-year run. And from that, he got to work on Ziegfeld Follies and a bunch of other productions to the point where his reputation grew and he was offered a job at MGM in 1940. So he has this theater background. He moved into film and television. The first film he directed was Cabin in the Sky in 1943, and then did several other smaller films before he did Meet Me in St. Louis in 1944. Oh, here it is. He and Judy Garland had met on Strike Up the Band, but so they started dating, got married in 45. Yeah, both went on to have phenomenal careers. The Minnelli family is quoted as being like unique in that mother, father, and child have all won Oscars. And yeah, the cinematographer we've met before, actually. It's George Joseph Falsey. American cinematographer, worked on 162 films in his entire career. Born in Brooklyn, worked his way up in film. We have seen his work in $1 Million Mermaid.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. He also would do Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which we haven't done yet. He worked a ton. 162 films is no small feat. He was nominated for an Oscar for cinematography 13 times, but never won. 8 months before his death, he was honored with the first Lifetime Achievement Award for the American Society of Cinematographers, and he retired in 1976.
Excellent. So this film is based on the Kensington Stories, which is a series of family stories written by Sally Benson that appeared in The New Yorker in 1942, and then later it was all collected into a novel form called Meet Me in St. Louis. When it was published as Meet Me in St. Louis in 1942, and at this point it was already in the very early stages of being scripted. And in fact, Sally Benson wrote an early draft of this screenplay, but it wasn't used. So what ended up happening is a staff of like 6 writers worked with her to capture the essence of her stories. A couple people were hired to add an element of intrigue to the script because they're like, this is very sort of light and fluffy and there's not a lot of plot. So they introduced like a blackmail plot involving Esther, which they were just like, no, hard
You went
pass.
too far. You went too
too
far.
far.
Swing and miss.
Pull back. Strong but wrong. So he pulled in another writer who was like a specialist in writing sort of like adolescent romances and like got rid of that and had like courtship stories like woven into the screenplay. Once the script was sort of finalized and passed around, it eventually got to Judy Garland because they really wanted her to play Esther. She was really dissatisfied with it. She was like, the plot is really weak, the character is juvenile. So they agreed and they did some rewrites and sort of added in the storyline of the family's looming move to New York, which was not a part of the original stories, as sort of a impetus for certain plot points to happen within the characters. Now, the music for this was written by Georgie Stoll. He was a musical director, conductor, composer, and jazz violinist. He worked as the musical director and frequently conductor as well for titles such as Honolulu, Ice Follies of 1939, and Babes in Arms, which is where he met Judy Garland. He also conducted the stage band, which toured with Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney upon the release of Wizard of Oz. And he was given a single ruby slipper by Judy Garland upon the completion of The Wizard of Oz. He also conducted her through her first 2 original cast albums for Girl Crazy and Meet Me in St. Louis, which of course includes all of everything we've discussed. There is a stage musical for this, but I'm not going to go into it because I want to talk about Miss Judy. Judy Garland, born Frances Ethel Gumm. Most people start by knowing her as Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. She attained international stardom, renowned for her versatility, and received an Academy Juvenile Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a special Tony Award. She was the first woman to win the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, which she won for her 1961 live recording titled Judy at Carnegie Hall. She started in vaudeville with her 2 older sisters in a group called the Gumm Sisters and was later signed to MGM as a teenager. She appeared in more than 24 films. She was a frequent on-screen partner for both Mickey Rooney and Gene Kelly and regularly collaborated with Vincent Minnelli. Other starring roles during this time of Meet Me in St. Louis include The Harvey Girls, Easter Parade, and Summer Stock. And in 1950, after 15 years with MGM, the studio released her because there was a lot of personal struggles that was going on that was preventing her from fulfilling her contract. We should also mention that the studio put Judy Garland onto a lot of uppers just to keep her performance. They also regularly shat on her, and like especially with her looks, and so she struggled a lot with her internal self-worth and with her image as a child. As she grew up, she was always sort of seen as very childish and presented that way, and that was part of this movie as well, where she originally didn't want to take this role because it's a 17-year-old, and at that point I think she was about 22, and she was just like, I'm done being seen as a child. I really don't want to do this. And she was eventually convinced, but Vincent Minnelli, and the way that he directed her and the way that he helped sort of customize the sets and everything, made her feel very grown up. They got rid of a lot of the extras that were being added to her. They sort of let her natural beauty shine. And this ended up being one of her favorite movies because she said that she felt really beautiful in this film. So at this time, like right before Meet Me in St. Louis, she was also having an affair with Orson Welles, but that ended and she moved into a relationship with Vincent Minnelli. And as you said, they had their daughter, Liza, and they ended up divorcing in 1951. So they were married for about 6 years.
And there was a 20-year age difference.
And even though after sort of this golden era for her, her film career was a bit more intermittent, 2 of her most critically acclaimed roles came later in her career. So she received a nomination for the Academy for Best Actress for performance in A Star is Born, the 1954 version. There's like 3 of these movies. And a nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in Judgment at Nuremberg. She also made numerous record-breaking concert appearances and made 8 studio albums. She hosted her own TV show, The Judy Garland Show, and at 39, she became the youngest and first female recipient of the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Film Industry. In 1997, she was posthumously awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Several of her recordings have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and the American Film Institute ranked her as the 8th greatest female screen legend of the classic Hollywood era. So that is Judy Garland. She was and is an icon and an incredible presence within the history of musical theater and classic Golden Age Hollywood.
Should we do reviews, reception, and awards?
Yes.
So, unsurprisingly, this was a huge critical and commercial success. It's just like glowing reviews. Like I'm not even going to get into like any nitty gritty because there really wasn't. Yeah. It was nominated for 4 Oscars: the Best Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, Best Music Scoring, and Best Song for the Trolley song.
Interesting.
It didn't win anything, but Margaret O'Brien did receive an Academy Juvenile Award for her work in Meet Me in St. Louis and other films during that year.
Margaret O'Brien was Tootie.
Tootie. Yeah. In 94, the film was deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant by the Library of Congress and was selected for preservation. And it has been ranked on AFI's Greatest Movie Musicals list at 10th. And 2 songs are on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Songs list, both the Trolley song and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Lovely. So, singing and dancing.
It's Judy Garland.
It's Judy
Garland. What do you want?
As we talked about, her voice is so rich and profound. Yeah, it's her voice is remarkable. I will say there was one lyric that she changed. So one of the original lyrics in Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is, have yourself a merry little Christmas, it may be your last. And she was like, too dark, hard pass, will not sing that. And so they rewrote it to be Let Your Heart Be Light. And she was like, I'm not singing that to a 6-year-old child. Like
I was thinking about this from a musical standpoint, and I'm going to posit a spicy take that it's really barely a musical, because we only have, I think, 2 or 3 musical numbers that take place in the musical, like, standards that we have set place, like spontaneously and move the plot forward and are not a performance in any way, shape, or form. So
I'm thinking of Meet Me in St. Louis, the opening song.
Here's the thing.
You don't consider
that's
it a song?
I don't, because that's a song that we have established in the world as like it exists. It is a known
like a theme
standard.
Song or something.
It doesn't move the plot forward. It doesn't feel spontaneous. It feels like something that like it's a catchy tune that people like hum to themselves. I will say The Boy Next Door.
You and I, Boy Next Door.
Boy Next Door. I'm really not sure about You and I because I couldn't tell, because she's playing the piano, like any time where there's like a musical instrument that we see, it feels like a performance. But I will say, like, Boy Next Door, 100%.
Over the Banisters?
Maybe. So that's not an original song.
I know. It was adapted.
I will say, I think Over the Banisters, I will argue that comes organically.
The trolley song?
And the trolley song. The trolley song is the other one.
And then...
And Merry Little Christmas.
Merry Little Christmas.
All right,
that's
so there's
several
4
songs.
There's 4. I know.
I would fight that this is a real
there's
true
a lot
musical.
of performance. It is,
there
clearly. Is. There's a lot of performative songs like Skip
Absolutely.
to My Lou.
At the party.
And
Under the Bamboo Tree. I was drunk last night.
Bamboo Tree. I was drunk last night. Yeah. You and I. Like, there's like a pretty even balance of performative songs and true blue organic musical songs.
Fair enough.
But that's my hot take. But there was no bad singing in this.
No.
It's Judy Garland.
Yeah, gorgeous. And then dancing, it was a lot of line dancing,
line dancing,
and then the big ball where there was a lot of waltzing.
No
but
dancing in the street.
No dancing in the streets.
Both of those don't feel like spontaneous dancing. It felt like
no
conventional dancing that would have taken place in that setting of a party and a ball.
Don't worry, our next movie will have dancing in the street.
All I ask is dancing in the street. Gripes and giggles?
Okay, my big gripe was that Tootie was not punished for trying to derail a trolley.
Yeah,
this is not a silly childhood prank. Like, I would see her not being punished for throwing flour in the neighbor's face because that's like it's an established childhood prank that happens.
But I have the same gripe. The fact that she and Agnes tried to derail a trolley, potentially endangering many people's lives, and the fact that she lied about John beating her, and everyone was way too cool with both of those. Yeah. That really got my goat. Is that the phrase?
Absolutely.
That gets my goat?
Yeah, grinds my gears.
Grinds my gears, gets my goat, garnishes my galoshes.
Man, that just really garnishes my galoshes.
I think we have the same giggle as well.
Which is the I love you.
Which is the I love you, yeah, which is Warren coming in and shouting, "We're getting married, I love you."
And then fleeing. Does not wait.
Before she can say anything.
Runs away. So funny. That, and then the entire first scene where Esther is just trying to spend some time in the dark with John. She's like, "Help me turn out the lights." And
John's like, "I have a task."
Yeah, and then as soon as he leaves, she like angrily turns the lights back on and then walks upstairs. Ugh.
Homework and fun facts?
So I have one fun fact. So this is about Tootie's casting.
Okay, great.
So Tootie, played by Margaret O'Brien, she sort of had a rapid ascent to stardom, sort of like a Shirley Temple vibe, where she started very, very young. And her mother was in charge of her career. And for this movie that they wanted her in, her mother was like, "We are entitled to a significant raise." And she used this film as leverage, realizing sort of how integral the role of Tootie was to the entire plotline.
Yeah.
Now, MGM upped the ante by announcing that they had cast someone else, Sharon McManus, instead of Margaret O'Brien. Now, McManus was the daughter of a studio electrician, and they went so far as to, like, fit her with costumes, and they thought that this would pressure Margaret O'Brien's mother into accepting their terms and their salary, but she held, and they ended up conceding to her demands for the salary increase.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, once the production was underway, Margaret O'Brien was filming a scene that Sharon McManus's father, who was the electrician, was lighting.
Oh, this thing.
And he intentionally dropped a heavy lighting instrument from the catwalk to the soundstage store, trying to hit her. It narrowly missed, and he was taken away and briefly admitted to a mental institution for this. Yeah. Wild.
Crazy.
So this father was just like, "Fuck this tiny child."
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an intense fun fact, but I thought it was insane that this person tried to murder this tiny child.
That's fucking wild. I have 2 fun facts.
Tell me.
One, so we talked about this movie being like many people's classic Christmas movie, specifically a Christmas Eve viewing, because if you start watching the film at exactly 10:22 and 30 seconds p.m., the church bell that tolls midnight during John's proposal to Esther coincides with the real stroke of midnight, thus allowing fans to get to like ring in Christmas with the characters of the family.
Amazing.
Is that silly?
I love those things where
where
you
if
like
you start
time a movie.
watching at this moment. Yeah.
My favorite one is with the second Lord of the Rings, and they have a specific time to start on New Year's Eve, so that as soon as the Battle of Helm's Deep begins, and Theoden's like, "So it begins." That's the beginning of the new year.
The new year.
It's so aggressive.
I love shit like that. I've never done that, but I do find
me
it
neither.
amusing.
Yeah.
This next fun fact, my last fun fact, actually ties into my homework, which is really nice. So I didn't know this, but despite this not being a Disney film, the trolley song is frequently performed on Main Street USA by performers at Disney parks and resorts.
Oh, how fun.
Which is like very silly, and like I can absolutely see that, especially because they have the floats and they have the trolleys.
course.
And that is my homework. I don't want you to watch this film. I want you to watch the trolley song. It's on YouTube. It brings me joy.
Amazing. I have a very silly homework, which is to look up the Jinx Monsoon Judy Garland impression from RuPaul. It's so good.
Good. I can't wait to link both of those in the show notes.
Two wildly different things. It's just very silly and very fun, and just the whole thing is a delight. Anyway, that's my homework.
That's amazing. I think that's all she wrote.
I think that's all she wrote.
Is that all she wrote? That's all I have. It's literally
That's all I have.
All right. Well, if you are still with us, thanks for coming on this journey. Mm-hmm. Don't get hit by a trolley.
Don't burn things in the street.
If you have any takeaways, just don't get hit by a trolley. Don't burn things in the street. Don't answer the door on Halloween.
Obviously.
This has been 5678, a movie musical podcast. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Have a lovely evening. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.